Hi, fellow traders. Well, are kicking off a brand new week, but at the same time, we're ending an old month. But today, still, we had a lot of opportunity today. But most of the volume was in Apple and Tesla. I mean, Apple traded 225 million shares. And that's over 100 million shares or more than what it normally trades. So everybody was in that, but it still afforded us a little bit of opportunity here, and made the day interesting. But I want to share this with you real quick, and we'll get into the recap. We need to trust the process and don't rush the process. All right. So there's a couple things you've got to understand where you are right now in this whole process of trading. If you've never been profitable, you've got to understand where you are. You might have taken several classes, read a bunch of books, but if you're not profitable, there's something that you're missing. And you have to understand where you are. But more importantly, you're going to have to commit to the time frame that it's going to take in order for you to get to where you need to be. There are no shortcuts to trading success. None. There's a lot of people who got lucky last week, made a ton of money on Roku, trading my strategy. They're brand new. Okay, brand spanking new. Made thousands of dollars trading the opening range breakout on Roku last week. 2 days were great days. One day they lost some money on, but ended the week thousands of dollars. Brand new traders. One guy, Monday was his first day in the community, just starting out, and I can't tell him anything anymore. The problem is you're gonna have immediate success that's not gonna translate into consistent success. You're not gonna be able to sustain your career. There's certain things that you have to learn, and you have to trust the process to get there. And my goal as a teacher is to teach you those things, not to tell you what you want to hear, not to sell you some fantasy that'll never happen. It's to give you what you need. And I don't care whether I'm popular or not. I don't care whether anybody likes me or not. All I care about is if I reach one person and it changes their life. As a teacher, that's why we do what we do. And if you're not a teacher, you probably won't understand, and you'll probably never understand. But that's what it's all about. I'll never forget the first student that came back and thanked me for putting them through what I put them through, because they were able to get through that school and graduate. And I still follow him on social media now. This dude has he has a beautiful house, beautiful family, has his toys, 4-wheelers and all of this stuff. And he wouldn't have been able to get that. And he tells me all the time that he wouldn't be there without me. So all it takes is one person. And I got this email today, and I get every now and then I get some really good ones, and I share them with you. And this guy spent 6 months. He trusted the process. He came in and trusted the process. And I posted it on social media. It's on my Twitter and Instagram. So if you want to sit back and read it, or you can pause this video and read it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But it's all about he trusted the process. And now he's in a position to grow. And to grow into his own trade. And that's my goal. My goal is not to create a bunch of sheep. It's to create eagles that when they get what they need, they fly and they're able to sustain themselves. And somebody asked me, well, why do you have a lifetime membership? Because there are going to be times where you get lost and you're going to need some direction. So why would you want to come back and pay more money when all you need is a tune-up here and there? Or when I put out a new class that you may be interested in, like I'm doing a class on a brand new strategy this week, and you may want to come back and check it out. I don't sell classes individually. If you want to go through the class, you just join. You pay the membership fee and you get everything I got. That's for me. That's what it's all about. It's not about nickel and diming people. So, that's where the lifetime membership comes into play. It allows you to be able to come back, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. I know it's not my ultimate decision when I leave this earth, but as long as I can stay here, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to trade, because this is something that, it's not something that you would just retire from. I may slow down in about 10 years or so and not put as much time into it, but I'm always going to be here and always here to help you guys. All right, so I thought that was pretty cool today. So we're looking at the SPY. When I look at it on Sunday nights, the market starts trading at 8 o'clock. And I always look to see where the SPY is. Well, it gapped up a couple of dollars. It was trading around 352. And I said, we'll have a good day today if when it pulls back, it can hold 350. And it pretty much did that until right at the end of the day. It did hold 350. We never held over the previous day's high after the market opened. But, you could see it just did not trade well today. We pulled back, and we did hold 350. We sold below it a couple times, pushed back up, dipped below it. We held it, and we held this. This is the opening range low. We held it, and dipped below it again here after 3. But then right before the close, the bottom fell out, and we're trading under 350 right now. So we kind of gave it up. So just looking at this is telling me that we may be losing steam here. But we've got several key intraday levels from the previous days, some channels that this put in that may, have some say-so in it. But you see right now, this is the 60-minute chart. It kind of held the 50-day or the 50 period on the 60-minute chart today. But here's some support levels here that could support this market. Even though it kind of feels a little weak today, it can support this market. It may sell down and then bounce. We just need to pay attention to this and just listen to what the market is telling us and not force what we want the market to do. Like, I'd love it if it just sold off and came all the way back to 330. I would love that. But I'm not going to sit there and trade hoping and trying to force it down there, because there's no way I can do that. I just have to trade what it gives me every day, and we're going to keep working at it. But the good thing is we did hold a 5-day moving average. We're still above it, even though we had a little weak candle, and we never took out the previous day's low. We actually made a new high, and then we never did take out the previous day's low. So, just kind of an indecision candle right now. Even though it was a weak candle, there's still some indecision here, and we're just going to wait and see what this thing does going into tomorrow. All right, so to look at what we did today, BYND, I had out. Just like if you were in chat room last week when Roku broke, the first day it broke, I said 152.50 is the level. I'm going to buy this. I'm not waiting for the 5 minutes to print or whatever. When it breaks 152.50, I'm getting in. That's the level that it's been held at for a couple of days. And if it breaks, this thing's going to take off. It's going to give us a really good trade. It broke so fast, I missed it. And it never really pulled back to give me another entry. It just kind of kept running. So I wasn't chasing it up. So I had the same idea on BYND this morning. I think it had an upgrade, analyst upgrade. I can't really remember right now. But I knew 135 was the level. Okay. And as soon as it broke it, I wanted to get in. But it broke it pre-market. And it kind of messed me up. I should have gotten in on the first candle, but I waited. And once the second candle printed, it opened, it sold all the way off. As it got bought back up, I bought it just over this VWAP here. I wasn't buying into any resistance. And we had a nice strong move right up to my first target here. And that was about it. It ended up coming back in. I held it for as long as I could, but it ended up coming back in and stopping me out at break even. So a pretty decent trade, followed the plan. You know, one thing about me, I'm gonna be the same person every day. You know, every day you're gonna get the same edge. You're gonna get the same average Joe trader. Now, the results I get every day may not be the same. But if I have a bad morning and I'm just stinking it up, I'm going to do the same thing I do every day. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to shut it down and take a walk, come back, refocus, and get back at it. I'm consistent in my process. And I'm demonstrating to you guys the behaviors that you're going to need, you know, in this industry, because things are not going to go right. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get caught up in stuff. And if you don't have a plan to deal with that, it's going to deal with you, and you're not going to like how it deals with you. So that's my main thing, is making sure that I have this process in place, that I follow it every day, and that I'm the same person, and that I give the same effort every day. All right. And if I have to shut down and walk away, it's not that I quit. It's that circumstances have made it to where that has to happen, so that I can come back the next day and get back on track. And that's what it's all about. But BYND was a good one. BA did not work out as well as I wanted it to. You can see I shorted it. I was late getting in. Okay, I know I'm a candle late. But I felt I still had enough room to get it down to at least 170, 150 or below, so that I could lock in a little bit of profit. Now, I was going to give up about 50 cents, but that's fine. I was kind of at the max. So the entry should have been up here around 172.40, 172.50. I got in a little bit late. Well, about 25 cents late. So, I mean, it really wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't too far out of the range. But it caught support. And you can see it never really came back. And once we broke it, technically we broke it, I got out. We made a higher low here. And, you know, even though we didn't make a higher high here, when we took out this 20, the way we took it out, it kind of grinded its way up, and then it popped. I was like, I'm done. And took it off. I could have sat there and let it hit my max loss, and I'd have just been down more. Technically, we got to take it off when our technical levels break. And that's why I have two stops. I have a technical stop, which is my active stop, and that's the one that I control. And then I have a max loss stop, which is the maximum amount of money I'm willing to risk on this trade. And those are the two stops that I have. And you never want to sit there and let it hit your max loss stop every time, because you'll never make money that way. So ROKU, this was the last trade we took. We were looking for the channel break here. We pulled all the way back, and we kind of ground our way back up through all of this traffic, all of these moving averages. We got over to 200. Once we confirmed and we made a new high, I got in. We did have a little pullback, which is expected, but you can't live and die on every tick. You know, part of the exercise, if you did it right, is part of the process. Very few people do that exercise right and get what they need out of it. Hence, they never become traders. You know, there is a response when you lose. It triggers a lot of negative stuff, and stuff that's been built up all of your life. It triggers. It doesn't make you feel good. You don't want to feel bad. It's our natural response to do whatever it takes to keep us from feeling bad. And so it's going to trigger us to start changing and doing all of these things. And all it's going to do is make our trading worse. That's why it's very important that we stick to our process, stick to our trading plan. If it doesn't work 2 or 3 days, who gives a damn? If it's a solid one and you see that it's profitable, and you see me trade it every day, and it's profitable even when I make mistakes, then you need to stick to it and learn how to do it and follow the process. Don't take any shortcuts. And you know, that's what this thing is all about. But I waited. I got in according to plan. The pullback didn't take out my technicals. And first target, second target, third target, I was going to leave 50 shares on or 25 shares on to see if we were going to get like 177.50. But that's the multi-day level as well. I might be looking to buy it over that level tomorrow, depending on where it is in the morning. If this is on my scan in the morning or is gapped up in the morning, then it'll be in play. So we'll see. I'm not going to say it's in play unless it puts itself in play tomorrow. But really good trade. End of the day, you know, I just had that one losing trade on BA, $110. It did not hit my max loss. I didn't have to invoke that because it didn't run away from me. And we closed out 480.84. So not bad to end the month, especially as rough as we had this month. You can look at it here. No, this week, first week in August, red. Mediocre week, the second week. Third week, almost red. I mean, Friday, I was red. I was down a couple $100 on Friday before we got a decent trade going into the afternoon, which probably, you know, would have hurt me even more. But only 431.57. You know, this day just got away from me. I think it wasn't it OSTK that I let get away? I made a bad decision and didn't stick to my max loss stop. And that's what can happen. And then last week only had one red day and still a mediocre week. Only finished with $1,031. Yeah, $1,031. So with today, and I didn't do this last week because I didn't want to look at where I was and it affect how I traded today. Like if I was $2,500 away and I wanted a $3,000 week, I would have come into the day looking for a big trade, trying to hit $500. And I didn't want to do that. That's why I don't pay attention to the money. It's not about the money for me. It's about the art of trading. It's about the skill. And that's what moves me. And if I do it right and everything flows, the money's going to come. For me, that's what it's all about. And you can see here's the equity curve. We are going in the right direction for sure. Almost hitting 30 grand for the year. I'm behind for the year. I can't blame it on COVID, even though it did change a lot of the parameters. But it's just the market. We can't predict what's going to affect the market, how it's going to affect it. Me being a big short seller, the opportunities just weren't abundant. They were there, but they weren't abundant, and you had to be in the right place at the right time, which I seem to have a problem with. But still an okay month, an okay year so far. But swing trading has been kicking it. So today we got in CRWD this morning, and we missed it out of the gate. We missed it, and we had to wait for it to pull back a little bit to give us an okay entry. I could have gotten in at $2 earlier at 120 if I had gotten in at the open like I was supposed to, but I wasn't ready to trade today. I wasn't ready to trade, and so I just ended up kind of messed up this morning. But I did get back in on the pullback. I gave up $2 in profit on this one trade. 130 is our target. We'll try to hit it tomorrow. And then kind of go from there. I think I'm getting a damn alarm now. The little ping is going off in my head now that's saying it's almost at 130. Yes, it's at 129 right now. Geez, it's at 129. It almost hit 130 after market. So if it runs up and hits 130 before 8 o'clock tonight, we may take profit on this tonight. Or if it's still around 129 or close to 130, I might take profit on it tonight. But this was our, we went over this. This is one of the ones from our watch list yesterday. This is also a pre-earnings trade. So we're looking for it to run up into earnings based on everything that we went through. I've gone through that class with you. So you should know exactly what we look for. But tomorrow I'm going to recap the swings for last month. You're going to be shocked because I want you to pay attention to, and I'll show you this tomorrow, where we are right now in day trading that we have been trading all year. I want you to pay attention to this number, and then tomorrow look at what we did in swings just last month. And all of those swings were directly from our watch list. A lot of you guys took the same trades that I took. Nothing came from out of left field, and you're gonna be shocked, because I was shocked when I added it up. I shocked myself. But we'll talk about all of that tomorrow. So we're in CRWD, waiting for 130. Looks like we might get it after market, but no, if we don't, we'll be back at it tomorrow, looking for it to continue its move into earnings. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. You guys have a great night and evening, and I will catch you first thing in the morning.